Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Charge Cowboys Sports Report. It is June 26th, about 9:21 p.m. Central Time, my time. How y'all doing out there, guys? It's in between minicamp and training camp. Still, of course, y'all know that. Training camp will start next month, July 26th, I believe. But I just want to, on this video, I want to touch on how many Cowboy fans we have that are doubting the talent that we have on this roster and are already crowning Philadelphia like all of the talking heads on television. It's kind of disturbing to see Cowboy fans look at the offseason, look at the subtractions that we had and the few additions and think that this team is a lot worse than last year's team. When, if you look at it, it really is not. If you go to the biggest issue of last season was our offensive line. We had that hot start. We were running the ball at will against teams with good front sevens like Philadelphia, Carolina, Chargers, Patriots, teams like that. Pardon my little cough that I have a, I don't know, a tick, sort of like Tourette's or whatnot, like the physical kind, but not the verbal kind, thank God. I don't let it hold me back in life. Have a successful painting business, wife, kids, all that. But if y'all could just bear with me with that, that'd be great. I will go to the doctor soon and see if I can get something done about that so I don't always have the congestion. But our offensive line played great. When Collins got his 6-game suspension, Terrence Steele was put into right tackle starting week 2 at the Chargers. And for those next 7 weeks, because even when Collins was lifted from suspension, he didn't play that game. He played the game after. So Terrence Steele played 7 straight games. And if you look at the film, Terrence Steele was not a world beater. No, he had bad plays. He got beat on some plays. He was in the wrong place on some plays. And, second year UDFA. Last season, 2020, he was a rookie UDFA. And played the whole season thrown in the fire because Lyle Collins showed up out of shape, had a hip problem, had hip surgery. So that's kind of the best way to learn, sometimes being thrown in the fire as a rookie, especially when you're not even drafted. So when Terrence Steele went into right tackle for those 7 games, he held his own, and the offensive line thrived. It did. It kicked ass. We got up to, I think, number 2 in rushing. That's how good we were doing. And ever since the Dak Prescott era started, even if Dak throws 37 touchdowns and 4,900 yards, the offense goes through the run game still. Even though Dak is a better passer than he was his first 3 seasons, the run game is what makes the offense tick. And the offensive line could not sustain that productivity, that, good play all season. Call it a coincidence, I don't know, but whenever Collins was reinserted back into the lineup, seems like the offensive line kind of started to fall apart. Maybe they had a continuity those 7 games. And with Collins back in there, maybe it fell apart. I don't know. I know that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So why did they put Lyle Collins back at right tackle? I'll tell you why. Because Jerry Jones was not going to have a player that he was paying a lot of money to be a backup or possible swing tackle. I don't know why they didn't have him start practicing at left guard after his suspension was lifted, knowing that Terrence Steele was holding down that right tackle spot, and Collins would have been a better left guard than Connor Williams, that's for sure, but not better than Terrence Steele. And even Mike Fisher would tell you, Terrence Steele is the better option at right tackle now. 2019, Collins peaked at right tackle. And after that, he missed a season and a half. And when he came back, he was not the same player. Joe Burrow is going to see that this season whenever Collins goes up against T.J. Watt twice a year, Myles Garrett twice a year, whoever Baltimore throws out there twice a year. That's just in the division and the rest of their schedule. You're going to see that Lyle Collins, his new bodyguard, as Collins put it, is not what he's all cracked up to be. Lyle Collins is an offensive guard by trade. He was brought in the NFL as a guard. He played guard in college. His best statistical season was 2017 with us at left guard. The reason why he wants to play tackle is because tackles get paid more money. It's the only reason why. Now, we got 2 upgrades on the offensive line this offseason. Connor Williams is gone. He was too small to play on the interior. He didn't have enough ass to handle the big defensive tackles. Tyler Smith does. Now, when we drafted Frederick in 2013 at pick 30 and Zach Martin in 2014 at pick 24, both of those picks were scrutinized. A lot of people had Travis Frederick as a 3rd, 4th round grade. And a lot of people had Zach Martin coming out of Notre Dame. Some people had him with a 2nd, 3rd round grade. And a lot of question marks around him. If we've learned one thing, the Cowboys can draft offensive linemen pretty good, especially in the 1st round. So I would say that I would bet that Tyler Smith will have a very good rookie season at left guard. I know he played tackle in college, but moving him into left guard, playing next to Ty Smith, will be good. That will be an upgrade at left guard. And he was rated by PFF as the best run blocking offensive lineman in the draft. So we upgrade at left guard. He can't be no worse than Connor Williams. And he's a lot stronger. His ceiling is a lot higher than Connor Williams is. We upgrade at left guard. We upgrade at right tackle. Lyle Collins should have lost his job last season to Terrence Steele, but he didn't because of the money thing. Now Terrence Steele has a full offseason to practice with the one team and really keep getting better going into his 3rd year now. In those 7 games he played, he was on an island a lot of the time. Week 2 against Joey Bosa. Week 3 against Burnett and the Eagles. Week 4 against Brian Burns, that young defensive star. Against the Patriots, they had Matthew Judon one-on-one with him. And against the Vikings, Daniel Hunter, until he got hurt, and then they put Everson Griffin on his side. When he was on the island, pass blocking with those fellas, he didn't get beat a whole lot. If anything, it was about 65-35 in his favor. And then in the run game, he did pretty damn well too. In the film, you could see that he would take care of his first assignment, whether it's the defensive end or outside linebacker. Take him out of the play. After he neutralizes him, you would see him go upfield and block somebody else on the other level. This kid, Terrence Steele, has major potential to be a star. Y'all watch and see, mark my words, on this video, June 26, 2022. So our offensive line has gotten better by addition, by subtraction. Lyle Collins was no longer the right tackle that he was in 2019. And Connor Williams, we all know what he was. We got 2 upgrades on the offensive line. And our swing tackle, Well, let's go. I bet you by the end of training camp, will be a damn good swing tackle. He's a big man. Number 2, Michael Gallup, Todd Archer, who reported a few days ago, this guy is as reliable as it gets. If he says something, you can take it to the bank. That Michael Gallup will be ready by September. We have 3 games in September, the 11th, the 18th, the 26th. Which means that he will start on the 53-man roster, not on the PUP list. Because on the PUP list, you have to miss at least 3 games. So he will play in September. We play Tampa Bay the 11th, Cincinnati the 18th, and the Giants Monday night on the 26th. Now the Giants, really not too worried about him playing against the Giants. We can beat him. We can beat them without him. I would love for him to be able to make it for the Bengals game, or really make it for week 1. That's not out of the question. Michael Gallup is legitimately able to play week 1. That's not out of the question, barring a setback. If he doesn't have a setback, and his rehab keeps going the way it goes, we can very well have him in the lineup week 1. That'd be great because everybody's freaking out about the wide receiver core. Gallup might not play until the bye week. After the bye week, this and that. Not true. He will be back in September. So if he misses Tampa Bay, oh well. He'll probably be there for Cincinnati. And when you got Gallup, Lamb, and Tolbert, I'll take those 3 guys. I'll take them because they won't quit like Cooper does. Cooper's a good receiver, but I've seen the man quit too many times. In 2019, at New England in a 4-point game, when he took himself out of the game because Gilmore was on him like stink on shit, that showed me what kind of player he was. He'll play when it's going good, but when it's not, he'll disappear. And Amari Cooper does not like to play away games. He's good at home, but when we're on the road, he disappears. They had the reasons for just letting him go for a 5th-round pick. I was upset at first, but then I realized why they did it. That he's not an alpha male number 1 that you need. CeeDee Lamb has the attitude to be the alpha male number 1. Like a Des Bryant, like a Terrell Owens, like a Michael Irvin, like a Devontae Adams or DeAndre Hopkins. That's what you need. Somebody with the attitude that will not quit and that on the big downs will be on the field. And check this out. Tony Pollard will be used this season like he's never been used before in the NFL. He was a great receiving back in Memphis. He caught the ball more than he ran it. And we all know that he can run it. So I know right now, during this time between minicamp and training camp, Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore are devising another piece of the offense around Pollard to have a 2 running back offensive formation. Have Zeke and Pollard on the field at the same time. Zeke and Pollard on the field at the same time. Maybe 2 tight ends, 1 receiver, or 1 tight end, 2 receivers. Either one. You do that, have 21 and 20 behind Dak. And then if the defense comes out in a nickel, a true nickel with 3 corners, easy. Run the football. Because you run the football against defense with 3 cornerbacks, you most likely have success. Now, if they want to come out in big nickel with a 3rd safety, let Pollard motion out to the slot. The defense will try to adjust. We can run or pass it there. And if we do, that's a mismatch with Pollard on a safety. Tony Pollard can run routes, guys. He can run routes, and he has got good hands. He can be a receiver. And if they come out in a 4-3 or 3-4, then he can motion out to the slot, line up against the linebacker. That's a huge mismatch. That will give defensive coordinators headaches. Watch that be a big part of this offense this season, a new wrinkle. And a second wrinkle with Dak shedding about 15, 20 pounds. He will start running this season. I've been harping on that since his rookie season. I mean, on third downs, 3rd and 5s, I'll see him step back in the pocket. All the DB's backs are turned to him, and he's got a 25-yard lane to run. And on 3rd and 5, he's just looking for that big pass because he wants to be known as a pocket quarterback, which is fine. But, he'll sit in that pocket until it collapses, and he'll take a sack or he'll throw a ball where it shouldn't be thrown when he could have just taken off and got that first down and lived to see another set of downs. Now, if he starts using his legs, which are a weapon because he ran a lot in college at Mississippi State, if he starts to use his legs, that is another weapon that is added to our offense. Something else the defense has to respect. And if he gets good enough at it, smart, slide, run out of bounds, don't, like he did against Atlanta, don't run into 3 defenders, lower your shoulder, the fullback, Dak, your quarterback. Run smart and slide. You do that, the defense will eventually have to put a spy on them. Now, when they got to take one of their 11 defensive starters and make one of them spy on Dak, that creates more opportunity for the offense right there. Point 4, we're going into Season 2 under Dan Quinn, who is the best defensive coordinator in the NFL behind Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is the best defensive coordinator in NFL history. Right now, Dan Quinn is number 2. He created the Legion of Boom. That was a crazy good defense. That defense took Denver in the Super Bowl, the most prolific offense in NFL history, and held them to 8 points. That's how good that Seattle defense was. Dan Quinn gave birth to Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, who was a 5th-round pick, and Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman had an 8-interception season, right? It's a lot of picks, one season. And he repeated it the next year with 8 also. So don't be surprised if Trayvon Diggs has another good season with picks. I think this season Trayvon is going to take the next step and be a shutdown. Quarterbacks are not going to want to throw his direction. Anthony Brown last season had his best season of his career with his first year under Dan Quinn, as did Jordan Lewis. Anthony Brown only had 2 bad games, Week 1 and Thanksgiving. Week 1, AB ran him up and down the field. Had 2 touchdowns, like 200 yards, and Thanksgiving, I don't know what was wrong with them. The Raiders, if they were in 3rd and long, they would just say, throw it deep to whoever 30's guarding. Whoever number 30's guarding, just throw it deep, and we'll get that laundry. And that's what happened all throughout the game and in overtime. But other than that, he played well. I know he's the dark horse of the defensive backfield, but he did have a good season. And if Kelvin Joseph does not get suspended, he's a wild card right there in our cornerback room. He could make some waves and maybe take over the number 2 spot this season. Because he does have talent. And now he is starting to put all of his effort into football and not too worried about his rap career. I think he got scared straight, like everybody said. Our edge guys, Tank Lawrence, Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler, Sam Williams, the starters. That's a good 4-man, starting edge, on the edge. Tank is playing with a chip on his shoulder because he got shown up by Micah Parsons. And Parsons is going to be on the edge also. And, about half the time. Dante Fowler had a good season with St. Louis, Los Angeles. And with the Falcons, he was the only good pass rusher they had last 2 seasons. So the offense is keyed up on him double teamed him, triple teamed him, and they had to worry about nobody else. Now, if you watch Falcons games the last 2 years, you'll see that he was still able to make plays. And when he did, he would jump off the screen at you. I think he could reignite his career this season like Robert Quinn did in 2019 when Robert Quinn was coming from Miami to us. Now we got Fowler coming from Atlanta to us. And Sam Williams, kid, has got something. We have got a great draft class. Tyler Smith, Sam Williams, Jalen Tolbert. Those three cats are going to make a big difference this season. I can guarantee you that. Our edge rushers are going to be beautiful. And then in the middle, we got Neville Gallimore, Osi Odigizua. Osi could have a prime breakout year. He could be that defensive tackle that can collapse the middle. He showed flashes his rookie season. He hit the rookie wall, as some rookies do, but Osi Odigizua, keep an eye on him this year, as Neville Gallimore also. Neville missed a lot of last season because that dumb Hall of Fame game, but the man is very good also, and they're all young. And you got Carlos Watkins, who had his best season of his career last year, coincidentally, under Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn has the ability to bring the best out of everybody. And then you got Quentin Bohanna and John Ridgeway, your one-techs. Quentin Bohanna going into Season 2, 360-pound Quentin Bohanna in the Vanilla Gorilla, who has got an attitude from hell, who said he's going to rip some heads off. That's what we need. Our defensive line is strong. Now, if Cowboy would grow a brain and bring Sue in for one season, shit. Boy, that'd be something else. Don't count on it, though. And our linebackers, Micah Parsons, Leighton Vander Esch, still very serviceable. And he could revert back to 2018. You never know. It happens. He is 100% healthy right now. And he played good last season. Jabril Cox has his time to shine now. We'll see what he's got. And hopefully Damone Clark can come back at some point in the season. Hopefully he doesn't miss all year. That's the boy we're most excited about at linebacker. And hopefully we sign Anthony Barr. That's the one guy, if anybody, we need to sign. We sign him, the linebacking core is complete. Now you go to safeties. Javon Curse had a better season than Budda Baker last year. Dan Quinn, I don't know what he did with this guy, but he made him a very good safety. He was a Pro Bowl safety. He got snubbed because he don't have a big name. By the end of this season, 2022 season, Javon Curse will be a top 5 safety. And I'm glad that we signed him to a 2-year deal because by the time his contract is up, he's going to be wanting top money. Maybe the highest paid safety in the NFL. And that might be all right because 2024, we're going to have $90 million more in the cap. That's the cap growing by a third. And Malik Hooker starting to play like a first-round pick last year, like a 17th overall pick that the Colts drafted him as. He has not lived up to the hype and has been injury-riddled since he's been in the NFL, but last season, Dan Quinn got the best out of him. And behind that, you got Donovan Wilson at safety 3. He's got skill at safety. We all know that. And this UDFA, Marquis Bell, where the hell did he come from? We have eyes for these UDFAs. This guy is the real deal. He can play safety and he can play linebacker. He's a hybrid. Marquis Bell could be something special. This team has got talent from top to bottom. And Dak Prescott was not healthy last season. Pulled his lat in the offseason because he was compensating for not being able to plant his leg the way he wanted to. And then he had the calf strain after the Patriot game. And that was all due to the leg injury the year before. And after he strained his calf muscle, he didn't come back the same the rest of the season. Y'all saw that. This season, he's 100% healthy. And he shed some pounds. He looks like he's in the best shape of his career. This team is a real deal. And if we can just bring on Anthony Barr on defense, defense wins championships, offense wins games. If our offense can just be 80% of what it was last year, I don't expect it to be number one in points and yards. But if we can have a strong running game, control the clock, and have a top 5 defense under Dan Quinn, not the Legion of Boom, but our own name, our own identity on defense, and make that next step, we're probably not going to get as many takeaways because that's hard to do, but we'll probably allow less yards, less points. We were good on third down, but be better on third down, and I think we're going to get a lot of sacks this season, a lot of sacks. I think we'll have 3 guys on this team have over 10. 3 players on this team will have over 10 sacks. Guaranteed. And I watch Micah Parsons chase Strahan's single season record at 22.5. He's going for 23. And I wouldn't put it past the kid because he's a freak of nature. He really is. And if we sign Anthony Barr, if we do that, and Jabril Cox in his second year, even though he didn't play much last year, is playing well, we can have Micah on the edge more than playing linebacker. And if we do that, he's got a damn good shot at getting 23 sacks. Because he got 13 sacks playing only 50% on the edge. Imagine if you play full-time there. Philly, yeah, they got A.J. Brown. They got that big defensive tackle from Georgia. Still, on paper, they're better. Just like in 2019, on paper, we were better. It didn't mean crap. 2008, we were better on paper. It didn't mean crap. Cowboy Nation, don't doubt this team. We are primed, we are young, and we are hungry and ready to roll. We are going to shock the world when week 1 and week 2, after week 1 and week 2, we're 2-0. Because everybody's saying week 1 and week 2, oh, those are L's. Those are L's, even though Cincinnati will probably have a Super Bowl hangover, which most every team does. I can't remember the last team that lost the Super Bowl besides the Bills of the 90s and was really competitive and good the next season. That Super Bowl hangover is some real shit, guys. And Tampa Bay is not the team they were last year. They lost a lot more than we did. So that's kind of it for this episode. I'm just kind of a little frustrated with Cowboy Nation. A lot of Cowboy fans really doubting us. They're not seeing what we have on our roster. We have young, hungry, talented players, just like we did in the early 90s. And we have a few veterans to mix in with that. Tank Lawrence and Micah Parsons will lead this defense. Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott will lead this offense. And Zeke will get 1,400 yards this year with this offensive line blocking for him. And Pollard probably get 700, 750 rushing and receiving. He's going to be very dynamic. And Jalen Tolbert, this kid in the 3rd round, man, he went to a small college. That's why he's not getting the hype, around the NFL. But he's going to show y'all what's up. And so is Sam Williams. Sam Williams is a pure pass rusher. Broke Ole Miss's sack records. And I believe he had, 15 sacks last season? Watch him. Watch Smith. Watch Jake Ferguson, our tight end, too. When we run our 2 tight end sets, we got Dalton Schultz, who's primed for a 100-catch season, 1,200 yards, 12 tubs, good receiving tight end, and Jake Ferguson, a great blocking tight end. Because like he said in Wisconsin, on 1st and 2nd down, they would run. He'd block, and on 3rd down, they'd run it again. The man can block. Now, if Jake Ferguson can learn to run routes good and catch the ball, we might have something there. But we are primed and ready to roll, guys. Our team is so young, we've got a good 5-year window. Especially if one of these seasons we just go all out like the Rams do and just sign, But Anthony Barr is really the only guy that we really need. We get him, we get security at linebacker. Every other position is secure. And we have the best safety tandem that we've had in how many years? 07, 17? We have the best safety tandem we've had in 15 years. And we have the best defensive line that we've had since we had DeMarcus Ware and Jay Ratliff. I don't know if y'all remember those days, but we had the best defensive line since we had then. It's going to be on, guys. And a little quick side note, right now Zeke is third in franchise for rushing yards and touchdowns. He is only 17 rushing touchdowns behind Tony Dorsett. And about 40, I estimate about 4,500 yards shy of Dorsett's rushing yards. So if I had written it down, he's 400. Zeke's 4,651 yards away from passing Dorsett's rushing total. So if the next 4 seasons he can average 1,163 yards over the next 4 years, he'll be number 2. He'll never pass Emmett. Nobody will ever pass Emmett. Emmett's longevity was unreal, and his yardage unreal, and his touchdowns 153. Zeke's at 56. I don't see Zeke getting another 97, 98 touchdowns. Nope, but I can see him getting 18, no problem. And I can see him getting 4,651 yards more rushing for the Cowboys. Because after this season, I know that he can be cut. I believe he'll take a pay cut and restructure his contract because I believe that he wants to play his whole career here in the Star with Dak, his best friend. So after this season, Zeke's not going to let the cow. I mean, he's not stupid. His cap hit will be like 17, 18 million, and he knows that's not going to fly. So he will restructure his contract to where it's team friendly, and they can also pay Pollard to stick around and keep this Thunder and Lightning thing going. Our window is long, guys, because we are young. So keep that in mind, guys. Subscribe, like, share. All that is great, guys. I just started this channel. I should have done it years ago. Just not social media savvy. My mission, first goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers. Then I can make it to a monetary channel, do live shows, make a little coin, talking about a passion of mine. Always been a dream to do that, and feed the family while doing so. Help feed the family while doing so. Like a little side business, and yeah, guys, show me love, DC Nation for life, guys. I've watched every game, every snap since the beginning of the 94 season. First game I ever saw was Super Bowl 28 when we played Buffalo. And then I just fell in love with the Star. And then the 94 season, I watched every game that season to the demise against the Niners when they had Deion Sanders on a mercenary mission to shut down Michael Irvin. And then the next season when we went all the way, beat Pittsburgh, and then season after that where we made the playoffs, blew up Minnesota, and then went to Carolina and lost. And then in 97 we went 6-10. I couldn't believe it. We had a losing season. I didn't think we could have a losing season. That's when reality hit me. And then 98 came along, went 10-6. Cardinals beat us. And then in 1999, we started off 3-0. We got Rocket Ishmael, Michael Irvin, big physical receiver, small, fast receiver, Still have a mammoth offensive line, Smith and Aikman. We had a Super Bowl team that year. And in week 4, we're at Philadelphia. Michael Irvin goes for a quick slant, and this safety, white boy Tim Hawk, leads with a helmet. Boom. Michael Irvin's career ends on that play. I remember that. And we wind up losing that game 13-10. And that really just ruined the season. And we lost against the Giants the following week, 13-10. Oh, that was depressing. We had a really good squad that year. And if we would have drafted Moss in 98, we would have won the Super Bowl. That's for damn sure. That's a fact. Moss wanted to come to Dallas. And I'm surprised with Jerry Jones liking Bad Boys that he passed him up and drafted Greg Ellis. I could go on and on. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, guys, subscribe, please. I've got 103 so far and counting. Every subscriber counts. It means a lot. Comment and share. You got other Cowboy friends. You know what I mean? Pass me on to them. Let them see my content, see what they think. But I'm telling y'all guys, the floor, this ceiling is 11 wins. That's the floor, especially given the schedule. The ceiling is about 15. I predict we go 13-4 this year, one game better than last year, and vie for the number 1 seed because the NFC is wide open. The only really dominant team is the Rams. Every other team is suspect, and the Rams could be taken too. We see them week 5. But that's it for this episode, guys. 36, almost 37 minutes. Usually don't run that long, but yeah, subscribe, like, and share. This is going to be a great season, guys. I'm freaking pumped. DC for life, baby. Bleed blue all day, every day. It's a passion we all share. Y'all understand my energy and where I'm coming from as I understand y'all's, guys. So let's keep it real and let's enjoy a kick-ass season, baby. In week 1, September 11th, everybody have your war paint on, baby. Because TB12 has never lost to us. Just like Belichick had never lost to us until last season. TB12 is going to get his first loss to the Cowboys this season. You can put that in the bank. I'm telling y'all, we are going to come out like fire-breathing dragons. Oh, boy, I can't believe I'm pumping myself up already. Damn it, man. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. Charles in Charge is out. I'll catch you on the flip side. Hopefully, some cool news happens and Catboy signs a real good player, and we can have a video about that. Until then, I'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a good one. Peace.